We got Weekend Warriors for you. We got Sunday Scaries. Before we do any of that, we start with our Roto-World player news. And in the Steelers division was the best game of the weekend, the Ravens and Bengals. The Ravens pull off a thriller 41-38 on the back of Lamar Jackson. And after the game, we got to hear a lot of praise for Lamar from his teammates.
That was like third MVP level for him. Best player in the league. He's a GOAT for a reason.
I never cease to be amazed, but I'm always amazed. And then just the way he plays the game, it's unparalleled.
But different, man. Like, I'm just wondering when we gonna start talking about it. like, man, different. He do everything. It's cool. I don't know. It's cool.
I love Lamar's reaction after all that. It's cool. It's cool. It's another day for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. That's what I was like after the Applebee show. Everyone's saying like, "Oh my God,
Everyone
it was amazing
there was like,
the way
oh,
you answered the questions,
Matthew Berry."
Yeah, the way you sucked down the dollar zombies, and still was giving
Sucked down the
dollar zombies. I really did.
That's a great way to describe it.
Especially with the pause in between. The way you suck down.
If you see the post-show interviews with like Jay and Lawrence and George, they were like,
what'd you think of your leader's
what do you
performance
think?
today?
Yeah, exactly. And I was just, so it's just like, it's cool.
Yes. The zombie gummy garnish, we were a big fan of.
Big fan.
They put these little gummy bears in the bill of zombies. Yeah, they're a big hit.
Yeah, big hit.
Just kept ordering them.
Yeah, like the new cherries in an old fashioned. The zombie gummy garnish.
Oh my goodness. Well, despite all of that, as we showed you, Lamar Jackson did not finish his QB1 this weekend. There was a lot of huge performances. Kirk Cousins still holds on to that from Thursday, but Lamar QB3, 33.4 fantasy points, Matthew, and he had it working on the ground and especially working through the air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a takeaway here other than like,
You're gonna start him.
Lamar Jackson's awesome, right? And by the way, Lawrence has him in our league, and
Did things not go well for you?
No, they did not in the League of Asphalt.
Fantasy Life commenters back.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Well done. Lawrence used a very good performance from Lamar Jackson, and then also everybody that has sucked all year long finally had a big week this week. The Kyle Pittses of the world, Keon Coleman.
That's when you're down bad.
Keon Coleman. He got Jaleel McLaughlin, 3 rushes for 3 yards and a touchdown. Everyone that, Lawrence has started all these terrible people that all had awful, amazing games. It was just annoying. So, anyway, he's down by I'm leading him by 5. I have the 3rd highest score in the league so far. But I'm leading him by 5, but he's got Rashid Shaheed tonight. Which
is interesting because Shaheed could either have 30 points or 3.
I know, but I'm in a guillotine league as well where I have Shaheed, and I need Shaheed to have a nice game. So it's one of those things that I just know what's going to happen is Shaheed's going to have 7 points, enough to beat me, but not enough to keep me alive in the guillotine league because Breece Hall killed me there. We'll get to that. But I was going to say that the 2 things that my 2 big takeaways from this Ravens game. Lamar's awesome. It was nice to see that they were attacking down the field. Average depth of target 9.01 in this one. That's his season high. So they were attacking it down the field. Zay Flowers was a big beneficiary as well. 29% target share here. Zay Flowers has been involved in every game the Ravens play where that's close. I mean, it's just when they're blowing teams out, they're just not throwing. But so in a game that was close, Zay Flowers was used, which was great to see. 3 tight end touchdowns in this game. None of them for Mark Andrews.
Charlie Kohler on the board.
I know. Isaiah likely gets 2, including an unbelievable play by Lamar Jackson, who runs around and somehow finds him in the back of the end zone. Just a ridiculous play by Lamar. Likely comes down with the ball. It's he ends up with 2 touchdowns on the day. Charlie Kohler gets 1. Mark Andrews.
Signs of life.
There were signs of life. He caught a couple of balls.
Yeah, he was out there.
He got tackled he came at the 2. So he came close to getting a score, which maybe the narrative is different if that gets in. But still, he played less than 60% of the snaps, which is, more than he has the last 2 weeks. But still, not Mark Andrews that you drafted.
Yeah, I think the only takeaway on the Ravens side is that there is the hope from a fantasy perspective, if you have these Ravens, that their defense might not be amazing. Because it was amazing last year. This year, it doesn't seem like it is. They've got the 22nd ranked defense by EPA so far. Now, they've had to play Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow, who might be the other 3 best quarterbacks on planet Earth.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been the dominant unit that it was last year, so I don't think they're going to have as much game script. Lamar was just able to take 4th quarters off last year. And now I think with the defense meaning that he has to play a bit more, I think, if you tell me he's healthy the rest of the way, Lamar Jackson's the #1 player in fantasy this season, I think.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the question with Lamar, never about the talent. It's always about can he stay healthy. So we'll see if he can as well. Bengals should have won this game. Bad snap. Again, when you count on the Bengals, they bone you. Everyone knows this, right? I feel so bad for their fans. It's awful. Like, can you imagine, like, hey, we finally got a chance here, and then the holder can't get the ball down for the field goal kick, a game they should have won.
I'm not sure you should be playing for a 53-yard field goal or whatever it was at the end. Pretty conservative from Zach Taylor. I get it.
I get it with the play calling, but still, yes.
They could have fumbled the snap as well if they were kicking a 40-yarder or whatever too. But yeah, disappointing way for it to go down. I will say though, as we pivot to the Bengals, if I had an MVP vote, which I don't stunningly, but if I did have an MVP vote after 5 weeks, I think the MVP of the league so far has been Jaden Daniels 1. I think Joe Burrow might be 2, and his team is 1-4, which just shows you where their defense is at. But Burrow yesterday, Connor, I mean, that's as well as I've seen him play in a long, long time.
You couldn't miss. And what you love about this performance is that it wasn't just riding the offense through Jamar Chase. It was how good T. Higgins was.
Yeah.
And if you're a Bengals fan or a fantasy player that rosters one of these 3 guys, including Burrow with the 2 wide receivers, this is your dream, Matthew, is that he can elevate and carry 2 number 1 wide receivers at once.
Now, obviously, this was sort of a crazy game. You know, Burrow throws for almost 400 yards. He attempts 39 passes. He has 5 touchdown passes, long one to Chase as well. But T. Higgins has a 35% target share over the last 2 games, multiple red zone targets in 2 out of the 3 games he's played so far this year. Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase, but as we enter Monday Night Football, Chase obviously the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. He's now scored in 3 straight games, 5 touchdowns over that stretch. But T. Higgins is wide receiver 4. As we enter into tonight, and given the defense, this is not a fluke. We know both wide receivers are super talented. We know Burrow is super talented. Proud Fantasy Life investor Joe Burrow, and we also know that because of their defense, they're going to continually have to throw. Over the last 4 games, Joe Burrow has had 4 straight games with at least 2 touchdown passes. He's the 2nd best quarterback in fantasy over the last 4 games. 23.2 fantasy points per game. That's what he's averaging. By the way, Zach Moss gets banged up in this game as well, so maybe we have more clarity on the running back situation as the week goes on. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.